thrive on it.
These humanoids are not well constructed. They damage easily.
Another time, another place, and we will meet again. Trust me to worry about the fleet from now on. My commandment is that everyone enjoy life to its fullest.
Sweet lady, there aren't many places I've been in my life where I didn't feel like I was in control, but this is an exception.
Sorry, this is not Earth.
The final annihilation of the life form known as man. Let the attack begin.
It is done, Imperious Leader.
What's all this observation poker card?
Some humanoids can be more binding than Cylon chain. You are such a man.
Thursday night broadcast.
That's gonna work great, man. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Excellent. Thank you, everybody. Welcome to season 6 of IFB Interfleet Broadcasting. This is our award-winning pop culture, sci-fi, news, and entertainment channel. I'm New York Pete, your co-host, and my best buddy is Chris the Tipsy Toaster. Chris?
Howdy.
We
Thank
bring
you for being here.
That's right.
All the planets are aligning correctly, and we are on the air.
We are.
This is a live show, so that doesn't mean it's always going to stay on the air, but we do have extra backups. So the just in case of emergency, just imagine the stewardess standing in the aisleway. Just in case of emergency, don't forget we are on YouTube as well as Facebook. Facebook has let us down in the past a couple of times, but maybe we'll be lucky tonight. So
I think we will. So we're bringing you our unique take from, growing up watching and reading 70s, 80s, and 90s TV, movies, cartoons, of course, the comic books, novels, and of course, visiting conventions. And we are big Battlestar Galactica fans. We grew up watching the classic. It stayed with us. And we have this show to reach out and bring all the fans together. And this is a part of us growing up. And, we bring you news from all different types of sci-fi things and shows and the like and conventions. We went to Shore Leave and we had a great time there. We had Jack Stauffer with us and we met with, Cassiopeia and Lieutenant Boomer. And that was fantastic. And of course, the BFC. And it was a great show. We got to meet a lot of other Battlestar Galactica fans. But tonight, guys, is long overdue. Tonight we are going to actually do our world screening premiere of our own fan film. It was a labor of love, something that we've always wanted to do is play in the universe of Battlestar Galactica. And so Chris and we created our own fan film. It's in the world
with assistance from
all of you, of course, yes. But yeah, it's a showcase of the talent that Battlestar Galactica fans have, right? That was the idea behind this. We wanted to be able to get the word out and show that Battlestar fans have the capabilities of competing in the arena with all of the other Star Trek and Star Wars and all of the superhero and all of the all the other fan films that are out. Every day, every other day, there's a new one. And, we wanted to do this because we love Battlestar Galactica so much. So tonight, The Stranded Warrior, it's an award-winning fan film. We put it out there in competition, and we stood toe-to-toe with all those others I mentioned, and we won a slew of them, right? We won a lot of accolades, many of them.
You've got the number, don't you?
I sure do. And I also wanted to mention that we competed in film festivals that are accredited by IMDb. So these are not just any old, small film festival that's in somebody's backyard. These are the real deal. So I'd say about 50% of all of the accolades that we've gotten come from IMDb registered film festivals. And the total awards for the Stranded Warrior film, so this includes both the film and includes the trailer, which we separately introduced and put into competition, and our official movie poster.
Yeah.
So all three of those, all together, all said and done, got 36 awards, 32 festival selections, and was screened no less than 29 times in these domestic and international film festivals. And we're very proud of that, guys, because the idea was, again, showcase talent, right? And this is Battlestar Galactica fans at their best. And so we did really, really well. And, this is one way to keep the story going, right? Keeping that flame going. And people around the world that have never seen any Battlestar, zero Battlestar Galactica, actually got to see Battlestar. And so it's the Stranded Warrior takes place in the world of the original classic, the OG, as Tipsy Toaster would tell you, OG standing for Old Galactica, and we did really, really well, and we're very proud of it, and we're very grateful to all the fans that supported on Kickstarter, the cast and crew that volunteered to do all this work and to come out and to do this. Thank you to everybody. We will talk to some of the cast and crew are with us, and Tipsy, a couple words before we actually show it.
Like anything, it's finally time to let the bird out of the nest. You got that little fledgling thing that you built. In my case, it's this little Cylon bird. But you'd let the Cylon bird out of the nest and let it fly, and hopefully nobody shoots it down.
Oh, there'll be attempts, but that's okay.
So, but we really loved doing this. We hope it inspires others. We got fan-spiration.
Yes.
We hope it inspires others. If if it's like, hey, I don't like it, that's fine too. We're okay with that.
Right.
I don't think you will say that, or you need to say that, because I think you'll like it. I want to remind everybody, it is a short, so it is 15 minutes. So pop your popcorn now before we play it, and you may get a quarter bag done, because that's just kind of the way it's built for any of your short film festivals. Has to be within 15 minutes. So there is much more story behind it that you do not get to see. A lot of it hit the floor when we cut it to make it this long. So some of the stars out there may get less time.
We'll talk about it. No, but there's more to it. There's more to it because there's B-rolls that we didn't get. There's a lot of things that came into place. So yes, there could be more. But
I'm getting that little bird, and I'm trying to let it out, push it out, shove it out, slingshot it out of the nest, and it's finally time to go. It's been a long time coming, and we're excited to see it. We're excited to release it to others, and I hope you'll like it. But we first have to greet everyone. Pete, do you want to do that first, or?
I think we've held this off long enough. We'll definitely thank everybody that's watching us live after we do after we actually release the hounds.
But after we release the hounds, then they're all going to go away.
Oh, I don't think so. But if I
gotta find it now. Hang on, I wasn't ready for it.
All right,
yet.
All right, so you find it, and I will. You found it or not?
I'm ready.
Because you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, you ready? All right, everyone.
There we go. Let me mute you out.
It's 2 years. 3 years from
May,
3 years.
May of
2023. 3 years from the day that we finished shooting. It was a 2-day shoot to now. It's taken us 3 years, and it's live here on IFB for the first time.
So let me set it up first and make sure the audio is on. Where is it selected? Where's it at? Okay, I got it. Let me mute Pete out so you can't hear him screaming in the background. And I'll then mute me out.
There are those who believe that Battlestar Galactica is lost, that its journey has ended, and that the fandom cannot survive. There are those who've given up, who have fled from the fleet in hopes of forgetting the passion they once carried. And then there are those who fight. These are the warriors. The ones who keep the faith. The ones who inspire others. The ones who carry the legacy of Battlestar Galactica forward from one generation of fans to the next. Honored with 35 awards, 32 official selections, and 29 screenings, The Stranded Warrior stands as a tribute to that spirit. built by fans, for fans. Please sit back and enjoy The Stranded Warrior.
There are those who believe the Cylon War is lost. That man cannot survive. Then there are the warriors.
For control to Zouvelos Squadron, you are clear to land in Launch Bay Alpha.
Hey, Captain.
Yeah?
Thanks for nothing. You nearly got me killed out there.
Frackin' Bore loser. I'll be in my quarters.
I love you too.
Lieutenant Karina, are you my wife?
Yes.
Car control, Medusa 5. Smoke is building up. Clear deck, I'm coming in. It might be a little messy. No. I'm sorry, Marty.
For Sagan's sake. Enter. Why don't you have a drink?
Why, thank you, Captain. Okay, Captain. But you might want one after you hear this. Commander is setting an attack briefing in 2 Centaurs.
So they moved it up. Thanks for telling me.
There's something I want to talk to you about. Look, I'm your wingman. I'll follow you through Hades. But you'll be getting pretty reckless out there. Close calls like the one today make it seem like you're trying to get... I don't know, what's the word? Killed?
You know that's not the case. I saw an opportunity and I took it. I know you saved me out there several times.
That's what a wingman and fellow Halata brother does. Make sure a shiny Notos doesn't return you back to the soil. You little dirty drugs.
Hey, that's the good stuff.
Just a tribute for saving your pueblo. Your laser fell out of your holster.
Thanks.
Don't do anything stupid. I need you to cover my 6 out there. I'm worn out too. Remember, o kalos o kapitanos si fortuna venete. We can weather the storm together.
Holy frack, I wasn't expecting you.
Good. How about the video surveillance and sound in the area?
Everything is down as requested for maintenance.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. Why are we meeting in an airlock?
Because of the fact that it's the only secure area that I know in this location. And because we need privacy. Now, did you download the program into the database or not?
Yes, I did. Let me ask you. What did I upload?
Do you feel it? Do you feel his weakness? He is not a true believer.
Ma'am.
He is not a follower.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine now that you gave me what I needed.
Reward him.
What are you doing?
You see, that one true God, he told me that I
Ma'am.
needed to reward you. From head all the way down to your toes. He says he thanks you.
I accept your sacrifice.
Warriors, attention! Amanda Lawson.
At ease, warriors. Please. Sit. As you know, you were all hand-selected for this mission from your various Battlestar squadrons. I'll constant hit and run attacks over the last 3 sectors, would define and draw out the Imperial's leader's own Black Fleet. I have faith in your abilities and the Lords of Kobo to make this last piece of operation work. All yours.
We have valuable intelligence for this campaign assembled by the new head of colonial intelligence stationed on the Rykon, Major Amon.
Thank you, Medea. We in the Rykon are located here, amongst the planets and the astrons in the Cosmora Archipelago. This is where the main fleet of the Cylon processing ships are located. They're mining Tylium and other resources on the astrons in the nearby sector. If we succeed, we will gain the relief necessary to regroup and form a larger offensive in order to keep them away from our homeworlds. And if there are no further questions, the attack begins in 4 centaurs. Good luck.
Karata Tempisti.
Karata Tempisti. Karata Tempisti.
Oh, hey, Captain. Last minute engine checks.
As always, Chief. Hey, Chief. Where's my launch tube open?
The Intel Major. She took a Viper out about 2 centaurs ago, and now I can't get the fracking door to close.
You tell me you couldn't crank it closed manually?
Well, I could, but I was going to take your Viper out and test the high engine.
Something's not adding up here, Chief.
Look, Captain, honestly, I got the orders right here.
Let's just talk this through, okay?
Look, I'm sorry, Captain, but I really gotta go.
You snit rat. What the frack is going on?
What's that?
Commander, we are under attack!
I can see that, Ops. Where do they come from?
I don't know! There is nothing on the scanners!
How in Hades did he get a drop on this?
Battle stations, activate positive shields, launch all Vipers.
Launch tube doors not opening!
Positive shield's not responding.
Weapon's not responding.
Is any fracking thing working?
I've switched to optical and I have visual confirmation of 2 base stars and at least 200 Cylon Raiders, but they are not on the scanners.
Damage control reports multiple explosions near the Tylene storage tanks.
Elm, full speed. Signal Rykon to retreat.
Commander, multiple laser cannon hits and hull breaches throughout the ship. We are losing ourselves.
Signal abandoned ship.
Back online.
For control! I've been in a collision!
For control. I am heading the planet's atmosphere. Do you read? Karina, we're gonna be together again. Real soon.
Rise.
Almost.
You belong to me. And through me, anything is possible, including your ascension as my queen.
Almost. Yes. Yes.
Let's carry out our plans.
Yes. Let's do this. Holy frack! I'm alive!
Excellent. Got to set up the audio, bring us back on.
There we go. Try that.
All right. Well,
there we go. Try that. Oops.
Now,
Wrong one. There we go.
Yeah, there you go. I think we're back on.
Check. There we go.
I hear you. I think we're good. Thank you. VCR is toasted. That's right, Colin. I like Royce said, it's even better the second time round. It's it's really cool. It's some I haven't watched it in its totality since Shore Leave, and before that it was a while. So I don't know. I think it was exciting. I think we got the point across. We had a good time with it.
So much more there.
Yes, there was supposed to be, but I think we did a good job with what we had. I know that our co-producer, the co-lead, Captain Martin, is patiently waiting in the green room, and we haven't had a chance to actually discuss this with Captain Martin in the actual screening release. And I think it would be kind of cool if we could bring George Zouvelos, award-winning actor, director, producer, writer in his own right, and of course SAG-AFTRA uh, member who is a fan of Battlestar Galactica, who actually took the time out and volunteered to come in and do this because he is sci-fi guy, and when we pitched it, he was like, yeah, why not? This sounds like it'd be fun, and it'd be great to hear from him. And he's with us, and we haven't had a chance to do this, so I'm very excited. Obviously, we have a full house of other cast and crew, but we'll start with the very top with Captain Martin, and we'll talk a little bit about what his feelings are, what how he saw it, what his insights. I mean, he was there from beginning to end when we were shooting. So when Tipsy's ready, I think we'll
don't have his video.
Okay, so we have video now. Yes, he's with us.
Yes, we do.
There we do. All right, cool. All right. So, George, Captain Martin, welcome back to IFB. How are you?
I'm great. I tell you, it's much better watching it now that we can see the actors.
Yes.
And what you guys did in the beginning with the awards and the lead up to the beginning of the film, I'm very impressed. I'm very happy about it, because there's a lot of work that's put into getting this product that is a fan film out to the fans and to the actors that acted in it. And I think you guys did a bang up job.
You did a bang up job as well. I mean,
well, yeah. I mean, if it wasn't for you and the others that were participating, we did get a SAG waiver, a micro budgeted sci-fi film. So we had gotten registered so that you could act in it as well as the other SAG actors that made a difference. And that's not just us saying it. You and I have talked about it on the side, George. The film festivals and their process are completely out of our hands. Once we submit it, they've selected, they judged, they deemed us winners multiple times. So obviously we all collectively did something right, and I think well deserved, and thank you for taking the time out. Tell us a little bit of your take on all this. I mean, you were there, you were part of this. Give us a little insight from your perspective as Captain Martin, maybe.
Well, as a fan of Battlestar Galactica, the original, like Chris would like to say, I was more than happy to work opposite Diana Durango, we have Jimmy Schertz, we have Billy Galatis, we have Tom Moynihan, you have George Kyriakopoulos, and the other actors that are in. And we filmed this in conjunction with, as we were filming with you guys in Once a Week for Life, that's out on Apple and Amazon now. And there was a lot of positive energy, and I know there was a lot of time and money invested by you and Chris specifically. And we mustn't forget Dorian, God rest his soul, who was always with us and had a positive outlook on life. The idea is to take something from writing and to transform it into onto screen, which is different. I mean, the library is filled with beautiful scripts. Not all of them get made into television shows. In fact, 99.5% of everything that's filmed by independent filmmakers never make it. In fact, even the ones that are in the hundreds of millions of dollars with A-listers, they don't get the kinds of kudos, accolades, and monetization. Now, we didn't monetize this film, of course, but we did it because we're fans of the, we're part of the fandom, and the fan feels the fleet, and that's exactly how I feel about it. I'm very grateful to be part of this cast and amongst of gifted filmmakers, and I'm glad you made it look like a late 70s, early 80s motif with the VHS, and it very much fit the genre. The idea is to watch this with an open mind and keep in mind that it's a fan film and it's not made with, we're not looking to impress anybody, we're looking to continue a story. And I'd love to continue the story of Captain Martin, because holy frack, he's alive.
That's true. It's very true. Yes, we dedicated, of course, the project to the memory of Dorian Keyes. Dorian, who was an award-winning sci-fi author. He was so proud of work he did. He helped us with some of the music. The one scene, George, that you did when you called one of the other Viper pilots a bore loser, and you go off to your quarters instead of hanging out at the bar. That was actually Dorian's. He came up with that in the morning before we started shooting, and because he had read the script and felt that there might be that we needed a bridge. So he was like, listen, let's get this done. Just you'll see it'll work out, And in fact, it did work out. So that was old Dorian. And I'm glad that he lives on through this project and through his writing. And so we had a really good cast and crew. It was only a 2-day shoot, and all said and done, I think we had some fun with it. What else did you think, George? Did you actually think that we were gonna get any kind of a positive attention? I mean, it's a fan film, and you've done your own fan film. You've also won awards for your fan film. So I had an expectation because of the quality of you guys and the CG. What were your feelings going in?
Well, thanks to George Kyriakopoulos, who wrote The Next Generation, and we did two films together that were fandom with the Marvel fandom. We were able to get it into film festivals and had some degree of success through what we did with our project. So coming in, working with George, I understood that he was capable of doing what his role was, and to play like the happy-go-lucky guy that was Captain Martin's sidekick. And during the filming of The Stranded Warrior, I was about 135 pounds heavier. So I looked like this Brutus beefcake, condescending, sarcastic, and misanthrope, which seems to be what I play in films lately. a little bombastic. And it's the antithesis of what my character truly is, especially now that I'm a grandfather. As of yesterday, my daughter Christina, we had our grandson, baby George.
Congratulations.
Georgie. And the lineage continues on, like what's going on with the Galactica stuff, with the explosion of that ship and all those souls that were lost on board. The idea was to get healthy body, mind, and soul. And Stranded Warrior is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to you and Chris, and to some extent me. You guys have the Tower Protocol. You guys have a couple other things that you guys are working on with the DP George Jacoumis, who's a very gifted cinematographer and a good friend also. He's your cousin. He's my good friend. We're in the same fraternal organization. And although we might not work on every project together, we can lean on each other for hope, inspiration, prayers, and also some guidance when it comes to creative stuff. And I thank you guys for that. Dealing with Diana Durango, I mean, Diana's the female co-lead in Once a Week for Life, and she was just a pleasure to work with. And to watch the guys film, Bill Galatis, Thomas Moynihan, Anthony Congiano, Jimmy Shirts, watch those guys do their character roles. It's interesting to see all of them in Once a Week for Life. Which was the funny thing was, what we did was we filmed the day before, I think, downstairs, and then we came upstairs and we filmed Stranded Warrior, and it built a sense of camaraderie with us as well, because we walked on set as a member of a team from another production, and it's like we switched hats, we switched roles, and I think it was part of the magic filming those couple of days, plus the spaghetti and meatballs you got us the night of. I think that was very much appreciated. We didn't get pizza. And the guys were talking about it for weeks.
That was intentional, of course. We tried to do the best we could with providing a little something, since everybody
outstanding.
Everybody volunteered, right? No one, everything that we raised on Kickstarter went to, getting what we needed. And, you saw the costumes and everything else that we had to get. And I think all said and done, it worked out really, really well, George. Again, thank you so much. I know that Once a Week for Life is streaming now. That's a production that you wrote, you directed, you're the lead in it. We've participated in as well, but it's streaming now on all platforms. Apple, it's going overseas. So I believe you were going to be doing dubbing for Spanish market. That it was going to Europe. There it is. And there's a part 2. There is a part.
In 18 Latin American countries, we had to get
wow
the actors to do the voiceovers, because certain countries you can do subtitles, certain countries you can't. Like, for example, Greece likes subtitles. They can read English. They get offended when people try to speak Greek. The United Kingdom, they don't need subtitles, although the way we speak, we talk like this a lot, you know what I'm saying, and we sound kind of funny. The United Kingdom, Wales, Ireland, Scotland, of course, England, they're loving art, because we've been there for several weeks now, and it's doing really well. And countries that I want all of us to be seen. I want all my actors, including my face, to be seen and known everywhere on the planet, in every language. It says in the Bible, no matter every living thing on this earth, if they breathe, let them exclaim his name. I want them to exclaim and praise that, that they were filmmakers and they're part of an independent film that was self-funded with a bunch of friends who got together and followed George Zouvelos, like we followed Chris Moore and Peter Jacoumis and the rest of the motley crew making the fan film. I do another fan film with you guys in a heartbeat, because I had a lot of fun doing it.
Well, thank you, George. Appreciate you, and appreciate your projects, and continued success with the next part of Once a Week for Life. and we look forward to bigger and better other projects. And hopefully next time we have you on, you'll be telling us about the rest of the rest of the worlds that you're creating. But thank you, George. Thank you for being a part
You're
of
welcome.
the
Thank you
Stranded
for
Warrior.
having me again. The guys are great.
Fans fuel the fleet, George. Here's to you and Captain Martin.
Having my own mead.
Fans fuel the fleet, sir. Thank you for bringing
Fans
Martin
fuel
to
the
life.
fleet. Amen.
You bring Martin to life. I really appreciate it.
Cheers,
Excellent,
George.
guys. Cheers,
Thank you.
guys. We'll see you again soon.
Yes.
Yes, we will. Man, all right.
I couldn't have picked a better. We couldn't have had a better Martin.
No, that was Martin. Was yeah.
He was.
So now
you felt the damage. The PTSD.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, once again, we tried to put this in as, this is a group of people who've been fighting for 1,000 years. You can't even imagine how damaged these people could be.
Absolutely.
We've got veterans now that come back with PTSD, but you just imagine what these people have gone through. So, kind of what we wanted to pull into that piece of that.
Yeah, and I think we pulled it off. In the meantime, we have with us Tiny Bean Tara Palen, who plays Colonel Medea, and we have Lieutenant Kosta, George Kyriakopoulos, who we haven't heard from since we actually filmed The Stranded Warrior, and his character is very much well liked, and we've heard a lot of comments from a lot of fans about all the characters, but we also heard a little bit of feedback on how much they thought he reminded them of the original Battlestar Galactica. And so we have both Tara and George Kyriakopoulos in the green room. So Chris, when you're ready,
just give me 1 second. I've got to
and then I want to talk to them a little bit about how they now got to see it. They've been in it. It's been a while, and we can talk to them on what it was like to do it, and where ultimately where they are now. And I know that everyone got to meet Tiny Bean Tara. They went to shore leave, so that was awesome. But I know that George Kyriakopoulos has been up to all kinds of different things in his career, so it'll be cool to hear about that. So
there we go.
Excellent. Welcome, guys, to IFB.
Oops, hang on. That's the ON OFF switches to OFF. There we go. Now we have audio. We're good.
Absolutely. George, you play Lieutenant Kosta, and you were also cinematographer on The Stranded Warrior. Give us a little bit of input on your take on the big picture.
Well, the first thing I would love to say is when I came in, there were so many of our friends. I mean, we've known each other for years, like especially me and George, Diana, you, just everything. I just knew everybody. So going in already, we just had a great sense of energy, and going in with the love of this cult classic. Battlestar Galactica, you have this giggle, you have this like inner child energy going in, and I was really excited. And then getting to play this playboy type of energy, it was fun because you don't get to take yourself seriously, you get to be a goofball, and it's accepted. So I just went in with this total happiness and joy, and being able to not only be behind the camera, getting to see how silly I look in front of the camera, which is it was just fun. It was a fun 2 days to do it. I couldn't ask for anything more.
Well, I got to tell you, George, I don't know that we've actually ever discussed this openly or in private, but it just so happened that we had some audio problems. And if it wasn't for what you filmed and caught on camera, we wouldn't have had audio for a lot of scenes. And for whatever mysterious reason, everything that you filmed, we had access to. And for whatever reason, some of the other footage we weren't able to use at all. So to say that what you shot helped us put together what we have in the end, is point blank truth. It's not an exaggeration. If it wasn't for you filming and your cameras and what you did, we wouldn't have been able to put together what we did. So thank you for that. We hadn't really mentioned that to you before, so saying it to you publicly.
I just want to remember the scene where somebody's laying on their back trying to videotape upwards towards Martin, and I think we spent half an hour trying to do that.
We got pretty close. We learned a lot about each other. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I didn't know that. Wow. I mean, thank God for record.
That's it. Yeah, no kidding. And you were the one that said it's not a bad thing to record audio as well, right? So let the camera record audio as well, because sometimes you can just, you're supposed to have a separate audio recording, a separate, you get the boom and the audio recorder and it's recording, but you decided, no, we're going to have cameras record audio as well, at least yours. And it saved us, believe it or not. But
whole lot easier to sync too, by the way.
Yeah, tell us, George, tell us a little bit about what the homework you did to bring forward your character.
So there was two parts, I guess, of the story reading the script. There was the one scene that I had to cry and be very vulnerable for, which I think that part was allowing myself to open and understand what trauma felt like. That was a very pivotal moment in the script, and to be able to allow yourself to be vulnerable, especially in front of somebody else. I had to allow myself to kind of channel back into past memories, as well as looking back at previous films. So, because I know that my character had to be very, I would say, Tyler Durden from Fight Club. Very. That's what when I thought of that character, I thought of Tyler Durden. He was very sarcastic. He couldn't have been real, and he just, in the most ridiculous situations, you can be very serious, and I'll pull out a cigar and I'll just look at it. And I just wish I had a better haircut.
Hey, it works perfect, man, because that's how they kind of looked in the show. But Tiny Bean, tell us about, playing Colonel Medea.
I'm just still laughing over the Fight Club reference, which I think is brilliant. Thank you, George. It was amazing. Yeah, and everything George said, I absolutely echo and agree with. Just the energy on that set was just phenomenal. I feel like we were all kind of living our childhood fantasies out, and being able to be a part of that was just stunning. For me personally, I've been a theater actor all my life. I've only done like really small film stuff. So I was kind of concerned that, coming from a theater perspective, you're on stage the whole time. Wherever how long your scene is, you study your lines, you're out there, you're in character the whole time. Film is much different. It's very short. You do a line, you do 2 lines, you cut, you wait, you do it again. It's really hard to stay in that character. I didn't have that problem here, and I don't think many of our other actors did. And I think it had a lot to do with that we were all so invested, and that just as soon as we put those uniforms on and you looked around the room and the green screen, and all you saw was these uniforms that were so spot on. I mean, shout out to the costume people, because those costumes were killer. So you felt it. And as soon as the cameras went on, we were all on. We were all 100% in it.
That's true. There were a couple of scenes that we tried to shoot a couple of times. And so, most of the scenes we got, first takes were good, and that was that, and we moved on. I remember first day of shooting, everything was just spot on. The first day worked perfectly for us, and then the second day there was some issues with, getting cameras on set, and there was some other unforeseen and uncontrollable problems that pushed us
Pants
like
ripping,
4 hours into the day, but
cars
we ended
breaking
up,
down.
yeah, cars breaking down, just all kinds of,
Right?
but in the end, we did it. We made it happen, and it was a lot of fun. I mean, it was work. Everybody had to work, and everyone that was involved brought their A game, and you guys, are no exception to that. And I thought it was fantastic. George, like that almost Lieutenant Starbuck, Dirk Benedict almost that you had because you shifted them slightly over a little bit and you added that, you made them yours, but it had that little bit of wingman quality to them like Starbuck did, but not exactly. So it was kind of cool. I liked it a lot, and I heard other fans saying the same thing. They're like, "Oh yeah, that guy's cool, man."
I couldn't get over how you hit the words they're so strange, like the Halatha and Nothos. Those you hit those things pretty quick. We didn't have to do too many retakes on those.
When the script is just right, it comes naturally. I think everybody in cast and crew can just agree on that. The script was just perfect. It definitely, you felt the originality of it, but then you also felt the heart of what you were inspired by. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Tara, you're part of IFB, and everybody knows you from IFB. You're Tiny Bean Tara. You do your segment here, and you've come out now to shore leave, and you've done all kinds of things that a lot of us know about. But from doing the Stranded Warrior to now, you've also done other things besides. Where are you now, and what are you looking to do? What's going on in your future?
Oh my goodness. Well, I was also part of the Tower Protocol Resurrection. That was fantastic. I had incredible amount of fun working on the audio drama that we did too for that. That was amazing. So those are like my two favorites right now, obviously. About a year ago, I did a one-woman comedy show called Whose Holiday, where I played Cindy Lou Who grown up, and she's had a rough life. So, and actually, my Adirondack stage rats are bringing that back this year. So we're going to be doing that again around the holidays. So if any of y'all would Adirondack area and want to see an hour-long me in rhyme cursing and being bad, come check us out because that one's going to be a lot of fun.
Excellent. Break a leg with that. We keep us in the loop. George, what have you been up to? You've done a lot of different things. Tell us what you've been up to.
Well, first of all, I left New York. Very sad. I miss a lot of my film and friends and family. But moving to Florida now, I got worked on a couple of projects. I worked on the Playboy Murder with Taye Diggs. I played one of his best friends. I wrapped up a thrilling motorcycle film, kind of along the lines of like Fast and Furious, called Velocity Kings. We filmed out here in Clearwater, so I was like the head of a motorcycle gang who was, spoiler alert, murdered. Um, and now I am in post-production for a psychological thriller film that I actually produced, wrote, and filmed, called Mirror Mirror.
Yes.
So that should be hitting film festivals hopefully coming this fall. And as well as releasing my very first debut heavy metal album coming September.
Ooh. And so where can we see this stuff? How can we follow this stuff? Where can we get your stuff?
So the movie I did with Tay Diggs right now is on BET Plus. The Velocity Kings is currently in the film festival circuit. So once it's done, I will be announcing where you can stream it. And Mirror Mirror, we have decided if we want to do the film festival circuit or we want to do it straight to Amazon Prime and Apple TV and all that. So it all depends on, but thank you for you guys actually contributed to the crowdfunding for that.
Absolutely supporting any way we can. And what about your heavy metal album?
Yes.
Yeah.
I did heavy metal when I was 13 years old, and I actually stopped out of high school. So coming back to it is a full circle moment, and I'm bringing that nostalgia of early 2000s metal, like Limp Bizkit and style, like the way things we grew up on.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm excited
SoundCloud,
to
where's
see
it
where
at
this
now?
goes. The first single right now off the album is on Spotify, Apple Music, iHeart. I can't really swear on here, so I won't say the exact title, but you can type in STFU. George vocals.
Yes.
Excellent. Excellent. Love it, man. Well, guys, thank you so much for taking the time out and dropping in, giving us a little bit of your, personal take on the project. I am very happy and proud that all of you were a part of this. And I think I told you between, Chris and I that, we weren't going to do this just because it was a whim, and we put something good together. We did this, of course, with the fans backing us, and I think we've given them something back. And by the way, this will be up next week on YouTube, where on our IFB channel, so it'll live there forever. So everyone that wants to watch it as many times
In
you want,
4K.
please, in 4K, go right ahead. It'll be there, so you can refer anybody that you want to see it. And we did really well winning the awards and the recognition that we got. In one part giving back to the fans, and in the other getting a little recognition of the hard work we put into this. Those awards are everybody's. That's yours, cast, crew, and fans, right? So I just thought it's kind of cool. I keep saying this because I really believe in it. We competed against Star Wars fan films, Star Trek fan films, superhero fan films, which you know something about, George, because you made your own fan films, and we've won a bunch of accolades. So thank you for everything, guys. We really appreciate you and everybody else, George Zouvelos and all the whole cast and crew. So thank you guys for taking the time out tonight and coming on, and we wish you all the best. And here's to you guys. Fans fuel the fleet and continued success.
Yes.
Thank you.
Absolute
Cheers.
honor, guys. Cheers.
Now we got to film part 2.
There'll be more projects. Don't worry. We'll be doing more projects. Don't worry.
Awesome.
We're gonna speed dial you, but thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye,
So
guys.
that's
care.
cool, right? We haven't had. I don't know when the last time we had George on. It was a long time ago.
Yeah, I think when we first put the
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a couple of years, I would imagine, just about. And then, of course, Tiny Bean was with us at Shore Leave.
Yep.
And then, George Zouvelos pops on here and there. Does follow us almost on a weekly basis, so we truly appreciate him and his efforts and work. So, it's really cool that we were able to, harness the talent that we did.
Oh yeah,
and it was a lot of fun.
Perfectly. I mean, sometimes you're like, I don't know how we're gonna do X or Y, and then suddenly it was like, oh well, I know so and so, or like mediocre models. Hey, I can make you that, or all the stuff that all of the things that fell into place was magical. I would say. It was.
It was.
Yeah.
Absolutely it was. It was like I said, it was right, it was 2 days. We had yourself, you obviously, let's just say this for the record for in case it didn't resonate, but you directed this. This Stranded Warrior, you directed.
Yep,
You and I
wrote it together. Yep.
we wrote it together. We produced it along with George Zouvelos, George Giacomis, who was the DP, and associate producer was Dorian, and associate producer was Brigitte. And it was, we had a Kickstarter fund to do this, and it was very successful. And so we're able to do this, and then some. Obviously, the story was going. We altered the story. There was an alteration that's made, and I'd like to talk about it. But Chris, yeah, there was a couple of the narrative did shift. It shifted, and there is
But
more
it shifted
to
for
it
the
that
better.
we
I
wrote
mean,
out.
Yeah, it shifted for the better.
I think
we
in the
sat
end
down
it
and
did.
rewrote it. Yeah. So
Yeah,
it was good.
and there's an extended story because we wanted to draw out and illustrate Martin's entire story, right?
So for those who don't know what this is about, this was if you watched the original, if you watched the OG, the original Galactica, the original Battlestar Galactica episode Red Eye, which by the way, I'm not a huge fan of the Red Eye one, only because a Cylon would never say, "Uh-oh, sorry." That was just that killed me. Anyways, so but in that Apollo crash lands on the planet, and he meets Puppis and his mom Vela, and Vela,
in the Lost Warrior,
in
right?
the Lost Warrior, and Vela comes out at one point in time, and she's carrying a jacket, and it has the patches that you see inside the Stranded Warrior on the side, because they never really, they never really broke it out. All they said was, Vela comes out and tells Puppis, "Your father was a colonial warrior," but she's holding a jacket that has a different patch on it. So I've always wanted to explore that part of it. So how, why didn't they come pick him up? Why didn't they come look for him? Why, why did Martin end up here by himself? Why can't he contact Galactica, the Helios or whatever at that point? They come back on board. What's the story behind that? And then of course, how did he die? Of course, we know Red Eye kills him. Yes. Sorry. Go Cylons. Anyways, so we know Red Eye kills him, but we don't know how. Yeah. We don't know why, what happens. How did Red Eye even get there? That's part of the other part of the story that we didn't kind of put into the thing as well. And Lacerda and his merry band of people in there. So, who's Lacerda? So we have a whole huge backstory in regards to some of that that didn't come out in this, but we thought it all out, and it was fun. Silent.
It was,
yes.
And we
yes,
actually
Royce, silent all the way.
Yep, we're gonna also release the full script that we wrote, which talks all about that. It goes into the rest of the detail about what happened to Martin after he crashes,
right?
And how he gets murdered, right? It's an ambush, and that's how Red Eye gets the laser that he uses later on against Apollo, or on the town, and then against Apollo ultimately. But why didn't they? Why wasn't there a rescue mission to get
because
Martin
was
out?
blown up and nobody survived. And they never knew anybody got off of it.
And
so we had to create that backstory. And
right.
Thank goodness we had some people who could, Chuck and Chris, who could go in there and give us the visuals for the big fights, the outside fights, and that was extremely important as well. But
so, Chris, we talked about showing the award-winning trailer.
Okay.
And so maybe
we show that.
which right, we debated whether we were going to show that first tonight, and we said no, we were going to actually show the film first because we've been holding it back, and so finally we were like, just show it. But we want to share the trailer so that you guys can see, a little bit of what we're talking about, and then we'll describe how the original intent was different, and it just didn't work in the moment. We filmed a bunch of other things that obviously didn't make the final cut for multitude of reasons. A lot of it technical. Some of the reasons are, there was no a practical way of using the footage, or we'd mentioned that there was missing footage, or footage that was captured but unusable, completely unusable. So we didn't have, certain angles that we needed. We didn't have dialogue or audio to go with other camera angles that we shot. So there were some technical issues that we went through. We obviously overcame them, but we then decided to make some adjustments in the narrative. And when you see the trailer, you should obviously pick up on what's
You're gonna have to give
missing.
me a minute, Pete, because the trailer I uploaded is not
Not the final.
It's not the it's the final, but it's the final of the Tower Protocol.
Okay, so
gonna have to go hunt
anyway,
this one down. So give me a minute.
So, all right. Well, look, I can tell you guys that if we can get it up, we get it up. But I'll tell you, the bottom line was the Cylons are, colluding with
Fantastic.
Ibley, who is manipulating. Yes, and of course, Major Amon, played by Diana Durango. So she's obviously being manipulated or is involved with Ibley, who is attached to the Cylons. And so we had a Cylon on set. We shot some scenes that we were going to use to move the narrative and fully embrace the Cylon part of the story, but it just didn't work. No matter how we tried, it didn't work. And to be honest with you guys, I don't know that it would have made a difference. I think playing up Ibley the way we did, I think worked better in and of itself than having the Cylons in it just for show. And so in the trailer, when we cut the trailer, we were still envisioning having that part of it. But to build out the whole Cylon aspect was going to take us months and months to try to finish that part out, and then try to figure out how to put that into the story, because we were building what you saw and that narrative. And so to do the whole Cylon thing wasn't exactly going to work well at that point, so we just let that go. And
That and the lighting wasn't going to help us anyway.
yeah, the lighting was just a problem. And
Always
and so
check the breakers before you go film somewhere.
Yeah, there's many lessons were learned. The location suited us to put out what we put out. Obviously, there was more to it, but I think in to be competitive in any film festival, a short is a short. If you're going to do a feature, you do a feature. But if you're going to do a short, it's got to be under 15 minutes to be competitive in and of itself, whether it's a fan film or not, guys. I think it worked for what it is. So here is the award-winning trailer that we released first. It was out there for almost a year before we finished the film. So here we go.
There are those who believe the Cylon War is lost. That man cannot survive. Then there are the warriors.
These warriors.
Men and women fighting for millennia.
We are Police of the Fleet!
Warriors living with violence and death.
We are pretending to be the insectoids caught in the crawlin's web.
You snit rat. What the frack is going on?
Now, fight to survive all across the heavens.
So there you go, guys. Obviously, there was a little bit more to how the the Cylon plot, right? We were going to see more of the Cylons and a little bit more,
There's gonna be a
there was,
Lucifer and everything. Yeah.
yep, there was going to be exposition on, how they got the, you see
the planning for the attack,
the planning for it,
how
and
they got the information where this fleet was because they were hiding.
yes.
And
Deacon was asking Major Eamon, like, what is it that I uploaded? What is this?
So he uploaded something into a thing, and we actually when he goes out of the airlock, it's supposed to go with him. And
Yes.
you're supposed to see a close up of a little
rocket
thing shoot off to the Cylons, and then
Yep.
then that goes to dun 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 dun, where we get the base star, which is we use the original base stars with the tops because this is supposed to be prior to some of the other things, and the original base stars that look like tops were supposed to be more planet killers in our case. So
Yep. Yeah.
we went. I mean, we don't have time to go through the lore of stuff. I wrote backstories for Eamon. I wrote backstories for everybody. How they ended up there. The Halatha is mentioned in there. How they were Halatha brothers, and make sure those shiny Nothos put you back in the soil because they're Toron. So we brought in some more of the Caprica references. The collar devices were all researched, so a specific reason why they were put the way they were. This patch was a specific reason why it was put the way it was and what we put on it. Helios, the reason why you called Eamon, because that name actually means something. So there was so much in the backstory that it'll never get out there, but in our hearts it's there.
So Chris, we got a great question, and one of the questions was, why not use actual Battlestar Galactica music?
That would be a problem because
they
right. will take you down on YouTube and everything else.
Yes, number one, but number two, there was a stylistic issue, and we wanted it to be placed before the show,
the original,
right? Yeah. So this is a prequel. So we didn't want to.
Martin just gets shot down many years. We don't know how many,
right?
Because we technically don't know how many years a colonial actually lives.
Right. But Puppis was his son.
Yeah, and Puppis was 7, I think is
right.
That
so he'd been
so
stranded.
Minimum of 7 years before.
Minimum 7 years. So we wanted to make sure that it was set and not confuse it with the music of the original Battlestar, which would have been a problem to begin with. And so we were lucky.
All right,
that,
fully copyright, exactly.
Yeah, and we had Dorian Keyes helped with. He created some of the music that you hear, and so we were like, "That's great." We can showcase some talent, right? So that's one of the things behind it was, well, we can try to maximize a little bit of everybody that the contributions that everybody can bring that wanted to, like everybody volunteered, like Dorian volunteered. He's like, I can help with the music. Let me do it, please.
Yes.
I have all the software. I have this. I would love to be able to do it. And we were like, absolutely, man. That solves a problem. And it worked great for us. So that's one of the reasons. That's one of the questions.
I think, somebody asked another question is why don't we hear the explosions? Well, in space there's no noise, so we went with that. Could we have gone with the explosions when the Battlestar blows up? Yeah, we could have, but we went ahead and said, we wanted a little bit more realistic in regards to the space not having any audio. So that's
right. So
why we decided that way. And I'm not gonna lie, it was easier.
Yeah, but it was a stylistic choice that we wanted to do that, right? It was like, do we put in an explosion sound?
Yeah.
And we were like, I don't know. I don't think that actually,
I think it would take away from
dramatizes
the music and
the narrative itself. Like, what does it do to the narrative? I don't know. So these are deliberate choices. And so, there are reasons for it, and we appreciate all of you, commenting and asking and, bringing these things up. We went with what we had. The whole airlock thing,
that's such an amazing piece by Chris and Chuck.
Right. So we were able to get the imagery out. So we were like, okay, well, if we can get the imagery of the airlock, because we figured out a way to not have the imagery. And then when Chuck Davenport and Chris Marshall were like, we can give it a shot, we can try to, we can put something together. We were like, okay, well, if we can get the imagery in, well, then that's kind of how that played.
Yep.
So, there's reasons why we didn't use the bridge, right? The Battlestar Galactica bridge, right? So out there exists.
And someone's still working on it, by the way. It's freaking amazing, by the way.
Right.
Someday I want to be able to put a headset on and walk around the bridge.
Yes.
I can't remember his name. I'm sorry off the top of my head. I really apologize.
Right, but so there were issues with it, and there was delivery times that we had to consider. How much longer do we wait before we put this out? Right, the trailer was out almost a year, and so now what do we do? Do we wait to try to find?
We lost 3 editors.
Yes,
Yeah,
we went through 3 editors. So we decided that we used what you saw in terms of Commander Larson being on a bridge. Obviously is not the same as the bridges on the Pegasus or any of the other Battlestars that we see throughout the show. But again, we decided that we weren't
you'd have
going
to go back
hold
and
back
watch
the
it,
movie
like,
just because.
I think you'd have to go back and watch it like 3 or 4 times before you really, because in my opinion, you're engrossed in the story at that point to realize that that's not the bridge. It's close regarding some of the stuff, but it's not the exact bridge of the Galactica. So, or the Galactica style. So, but who knows? Maybe they weren't Galactica style ships at that point in time. I mean, they look like it, but they could be different on the inside. So, yeah, we went with that, and I think that was part of a Unreal Engine piece that I handed over to Chuck, and Chuck took off with it, and Chuck and Chris took off with it, and was amazing.
Yeah, and you know what? We just did it. We just said, you know what? This is really, really fun. It's really cool, and we thought that it got the point across, and it was a labor of love. Everybody volunteered to do. Chris, in the end, Tipsy took up the mantle of doing the editing. You had acquired all of this software. You acquired
and this was before AI.
Right.
Now, if I want to go back now and put the AI piece in, wow, it would have been a whole different look there. So
oh yeah, but that's okay. So this came.
It had that 70s VCR look, so we're good.
Yes, and that was the idea behind it. We thought we had a good time with that, and So you guys got to now see the actual film, and you got to see the trailer. And yes, there was gonna be this whole Cylon element, and on a base star, we were gonna have an IL series, Cylon come on, and it was, he was gonna, talk, make some comments about where the story was and why these things were happening. And of course, he was going to talk with Ibley, if I'm not mistaken. There was going to be I think, a conversation with Ibley. And anyway, look, it's in the script. You guys will find the script fascinating. We are going to release the script, of course, and so I believe that'll come out, soon after we do the put it up on YouTube, where it'll live. We'll put it up next week. But it was a lot of fun. And like I said, it was a showcase of Battlestar talent. Like those of us, everybody that was involved were Battlestar Galactica fans in one form or another. And
people flew in. I mean,
from all
drove
over,
in from all over.
Yeah,
just
to participate.
Be in the show, and that's crazy.
That's my biggest thing, Chris, is the idea that we were able to put together something that people liked enough that they recognized it, and we competed against other fan films that were from other franchises, and we beat them, including Star Wars films and Star Trek films and the like. And I thought that was really cool. And I don't know, that was a nice little pat on the back for all the work that we put in, all of us, cast and crew. But that was it's taken us 3 years to get to where we are now.
Yep. And then we met some people at Shore Leave that are actually working on a fan film for OG Battlestar Galactica as well. So
yes, this is true. George Giacomis.
Inspiration, yes.
George Giacomis was he's my cousin. He was the DP,
Emmy Award winning,
and yes, and a producer on The Stranded Warrior. So thank you, George. Was not able to make it today to be on with us because he was working. He is in the business, and he's working the U.S. Open, and so he was not able to come on the show. However, I also wanted to mention that Anthony Congiano was scheduled to come on and talk to us. He played Crew Chief Seth, and he's the one that gets
behind that too, by the way.
Yes, he's the one that gets gunned
looking
down.
Up these names and their meanings, you'll find out why. It's almost giveaway if you knew what they went.
Yeah, and he is a working actor, also a SAG member, and he is on set, on location somewhere, working as we speak, and was not able. He apologized. He had all intent to be here. He was going to be on with Tiny Bean, and with George Kyriakopoulos, and was not able to. Jeff Kirkland also got called in to work. So unfortunately, he couldn't be with us. He was scheduled to be here. I know that Diana Durango also wanted to be here badly. She will come on at a later date, and she will tell us all about her character, why she decided to play the character with the accent that she has. Is a little bit of a story that she will pass on and share with you guys. So there will be another time where we will revisit. I think there's a lot more to talk about.
Much more.
Oh, absolutely.
It'll be a behind the scenes book, but
absolutely.
I wish it's something that I'll never forget, and it's always with me in regards to the friendships that we made and the video that we made and everything else. It's there for you, and hopefully, if you watch it and it gives you ideas and things like that inspire you, or get you even thinking about, hey, what if, kind of things.
And we're not done. Chuck Davenport and Chris Marshall, who were they created the CG. Chuck Davenport, also a producer on The Stranded Warrior. was up to his eyeballs in helping us with all kinds of aspects of this. We'll talk a little bit with him, and then with Chris Marshall that worked out. They called upon a lot of people that they knew that could help them out and give them guidance on how to do some of the CG, all the CG, not some, so all the CG that you see. They worked that out, and it's really, really cool. I can't imagine the Stranded Warrior without the CG. I don't think we would have done it if we didn't have the CG.
Oh yeah,
we had issues with whether or not it was possible. But when they volunteered and said yes, we can do this, that's when we really decided. Okay, we set a date to shoot. It was 2 days in consecutive days in May of 2023, and the first day, like I had said before, went without a hitch. It was almost too good to be true. We shot. It was like an 8-hour day, and everybody went home happy. Everybody was fed. And
First
it was
day
great.
rolled perfectly. Yeah, I think some of the actors said, "I've never been on a set that rolled perfectly so well."
Yeah.
Day
and
two,
the next day
well,
was a mess. Our second day
the
was a
cameraman
mess.
gets a flat tire, rips his pants, can't make it.
Oh yeah, it was incredible.
Everything. He had the audio recorder, so
Yep.
we ran to B&H down the road to get an audio
equipment
outside
on a
of
Sunday.
Recorder on a Sunday.
It was nuts. So
day one was fantastic. It was perfect.
Yes.
Day two, well,
no, and there was trouble. We had trouble with
breakers,
location, breakers. There were promises made that couldn't be fulfilled properly. That was another thing. I mean, we learned a lot from this. And look, we came out with a great fan film. We're very proud of what we did. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And more importantly, Tipsy, hopefully others can, make and be inspired. Because if we did it, you can do it.
And nowadays,
hopefully you guys do it.
With the AI stuff, you guys, it's so those capabilities are out there so much.
Oh, yes. Royce says the set gremlins.
Yes.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely.
They were more than gremlins. They were mean.
Yeah, they were more. They were like ogres, man. We had a whole bunch of issues, but we overcame it. We put it together.
And we couldn't have another day. It had to be those 2 days.
Those are the only 2 days we had to shoot and get everybody
flew
together.
In, everything else, that was like not happening.
Not happening a different day. And then Mediocre Modeler sent us up the props he made, a Viper helmet that we used extensively with an original emblem. We created an emblem for the Helios Battlestar that gets blown up. The other one, of course, if you caught in the dialogue, you heard that it was the Rykon. And the Rykon just hightails it the heck out of the battle and retreats. And it was on a covert mission, of course. In the briefing, we did mention it did get it remained in the briefing.
Mike Goudreau's on. He was on set. He says, and those official New York bagels.
That's right. Yeah, Mike Goudreau, who actually is a fan film maker, right? He has made, he has made a couple, and I believe there is another that he's putting together. And so there you go, talking about Battlestar Galactica fan films. They exist, and they go back a ways, Chris. You know that. They go back 20 years
there's some
at
others,
least.
There's some others out there. We're not the only ones.
No,
there are some others
absolutely
out there,
not.
So.
Yes, so they're out there.
We're not trying to cheat them at all. So
no, we're not.
You ready for Chuck?
Well, Chuck is here with us, and I'm hoping that Chris Marshall, yes, he shows up. But in the meantime, this is the first time that we've actually been able to get Chuck Davenport onto the show.
Yes.
Chuck is
a legend.
He is part of the family. He is a big IFB supporter. There he is, Chuck. How are you, Chuck? Welcome to IFB. Finally, how are you?
Hey, pretty good. I hope my signal's coming through good here. It kind of varies a little bit on my phone. Long-time listener, first-time caller.
That's right. That's right, Chuck.
Welcome to the show, Chuck.
Yes, exactly, Chuck. You earned the MVP award from one of the festivals that we were in, and rightfully so. You stood by the project just about from, I think it was from the beginning, if not like the first day, it was probably day two. But you also helped us get through some of the most difficult times that we had with the production. That any other filmmaker knows going into something, sometimes you have your highs and then sometimes you'll have really lows. And you stood with us, you helped us out tremendously. So the accolades that you've earned for CGI and of course for that MVP is well deserved, Chuck. So congratulations and thank you for all the help. I've said this before and I need to say it again. Chuck, if it wasn't for you and the effort and the love and the passion that you put into this, I firmly believe that we would not have completed this project. So publicly, thank you, Chuck.
Yes.
And cheers to you and your dedication.
Well, thank you very much, Pete. I can hardly believe it won an award, and I don't think I'm deserving of that much praise. I just plugged along with the rest of you and tried to deliver, whatever things that I could in the post-production.
Well, thank you very much, Chuck. And for the record, it's the 2025 Fan Film Directors Awards. Those of you that are fan filmmakers, you all know and have heard of this festival. And Chuck, that was the MVP award, Most Valuable Player award that was bestowed upon you from them on behalf of us. So, Chuck, tell us. I have set up a couple of specific questions that I wanted to ask you related to the project. And I guess what I'm going to start with is this. Was it your first fan film? Was The Stranded Warrior your first fan film?
Well, I guess technically it is. This is the first fan film that I ever worked on that actually completed and was, broadcast to an audience. Prior to that, I've worked with a few amateur productions, and they often don't complete. And as you well know, there can be a lot of difficulties that happen on a production set that when you get into the post-production, you realize there just isn't any way you can make it work. And, so you're in the position of, well, we need to shoot the scene over again, or we're missing this part. If only I could get that set back. If I could only get that actor back. If only the crew was still available. But, that's just not how it is. And so sometimes these kinds of productions just give up because there isn't any way forward. But I knew that Chris and Pete were going to push it through no matter what. And, once Chris got a hold of it and started making it the required length for the film festivals, it finally started to really come together.
And
so,
I have
Chuck,
some of those clips, by the way, if you want to start.
What does post-production mean to you, Chuck? How do you define that?
Well, post-production is where movies get made. Before then, it's just, a script with some ideas and a whole bunch of clips that may or may not have all the media that you want to have on there. And totally depending on how you put the film together in post-production, you can totally change it almost any way that you please. With depending on the color grading and music and effects and stuff like that, you can just turn a film into something totally different than what you thought you were going to have on the start. So it's actually very cool. It's a very powerful uh, uh, process to be a part of, and it's probably one of the only ones where, you know, if you have infinite time, like on a fan film, you have the opportunity to put it together. You can keep working on it until hopefully you have something that you're happy with enough to release.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well said. And the reason that I mentioned and asked that question, Chuck, was because you were heavily involved in that post-production stage of The Stranded Warrior. We had in the can, we had all of the filming that was done, the live action, and then we needed to start building out all of the specific CG scenes that would either go like in the opening or the space scenes, not to mention, of course, working the background and getting the green screen and all that stuff. And so you and Chris Marshall worked on getting all of that together so that we could start inserting and then fixing and then adjusting. And I remember it was a learning experience for me as well, because we discussed, all right, well, we need like base stars, and we need Cylon Raiders, flying out of them towards the two battle stars. And then I remember that you and Chris were constantly, asking more questions, like, where do you want them? Like, how many do you want? Like, how are they flying in? I was like,
just put them there.
Just put them there. But that's not how it works, right? It's you need to be able to know what we're talking about. So if that means I need, I need them to stream out, and I want it to be not 100. I want make it look like 300 Cylon Raiders are flying off of, flying from the base stars, and they are coming in towards the battle stars, and you're going to see them from right to left, and they're going to be like in a phalanx, and so this was part of a lot of the learning curve that we all had to work around. And I thought that was quite the experience, Chuck. I don't know how frustrated you were getting, but I was like, I cannot imagine how much you were pulling your hair out, you and Chris, to try to get this to kind of gel. So I wanted to ask
you. Do you have any idea what my computer thought about putting 200 CGI Raiders on the screen all at the same time? It was unhappy about that, and so well, how many Raiders do you really want? Well, the script, and you said 200, and if you could count the dots, there are 200, actually probably 212 or something, Cylon Raiders coming for the Helios. So we try to deliver what it is that you've asked for, and try to imagine it the way you've imagined it, because you have this picture in your head. Unfortunately, we didn't have any drawings or anything to work from. So sketches. So I'm trying to make what you're imagining, but I don't really know what it is. So we run something out there, and you either like it or you say change it, and then we do it again. That's kind of what CGI is. It's just doing the same damn scene over and over again until it looks better.
Well, okay.
Here's some of those clips, by the way. I think.
Yeah. Throw up a clip. This is one of the clips you sent us,
So
Chuck.
This I think is the most. Oops. All right, let me try that again. We'll do that, and we'll do that, and then we'll do that. Anyways, I think this scene, the CG scene, not this particular. I mean, the other end of this, where the crash is for Karina. It really gives me goosebumps every time I watch how it goes together. But this piece here, the physics in this was amazing.
Yeah, that's what it feels like to die in a Viper, right there on the deck. I saw some videos of crashes and stuff with aircraft and stuff, and I tried to make that as real as I could there, because a whole lot of tragedy is based on this event. I mean, Martin's life is torn apart by this, so it had to look as good as I can make it.
Hey, it looked great. So Chuck, tell us, what kept you going when things looked like they had stalled, and they had stalled many times, and there were doubts as to whether or not we were going to finish this, like many filmmakers go through. And I'm not just talking about fan films, talk about regular films as well, especially in the indie world. I've produced and filmed and directed other projects, and I kind of know that's cool. See, that's so that's Captain Martin, two-dimensional Captain Martin. So we had to keep him. There was a specific angle, and it
Yes,
worked great.
that's the magic behind the scene, because of course a video is just a flat piece. It only works from the direction that it was filmed from. So you have problems. You can't just put a character anywhere you want in any orientation that you want, because it's just a flat piece of film. And
Right.
so, I try to construct a scene that would be seen from the same angle of the camera, so that you can insert the character into it and, hopefully get a shot that works.
Yeah, we pulled it off though. It actually really worked. It worked great. So,
I want to
uh,
just make a shout out to some of the people who made the models, because I'm not a model maker, and all of these the Viper and the Cylon Raiders and the Base Stars, that those were all made by Anson Call, who is a fantastic modeler and a big help to any kind of amateur like myself. Um, I also got a lot of help. Peter Hirschberg, who Chris was trying to remember, has been working on the Battlestar Bridge. It's fantastic looking, and if we ever get anything more going on this project, I'm sure you'll be seeing it. And there's been a few others: Ken Thompson, Dave Karen, John Bressford. They all made some contribution at some point, and I just want to say thanks, because it's a big team effort, and they contributed.
yes, they did. As a matter of fact, I think it's the right time for us to acknowledge the rest of the team, especially since one of the other hats that you have on this project is you're a producer as well, Chuck. So I know that George Zouvelos mentioned Jimmy Shirts. Of course, Lieutenant Karina was Krissa Petridou. She is in Cyprus on vacation and therefore could not be with us, but will is looking forward to coming on the show in the future. And let me see, Dave Fretz, who came in with the guys. Jamie Beckmore did some voiceover. We did mention Bill Galatis earlier. Mike Goudreau, who is another fan filmmaker, he was Lieutenant Polaris. He was in on it. Gary Herder, of course, Dorian Keyes. I mentioned Jeff Kirkland earlier. Michael Moyer, Lieutenant Keed. He was a colonial warrior in the background. Tom Moynihan was a console operator, Sander. Of course, legacy fan writer, Fran Severn. So she's a fan fiction writer, very well known in the Battlestar circles, was also a colonial warrior. And then Dave Turnbull. And then Commander Larson was played by a gentleman named Wei Wang. Thank you very much. And as far as the filmmakers, Chuck, I'm just going to hit the ones that we haven't mentioned.
Chris finally did.
Let's see. Brigitte, Mike May, associate producer, and Joe Hawk, and there's a couple others. Jerry Jackson, and there's Emmy Morales, second assistant director. Carrick Jones, sound editor. You mentioned Anson Burton Cole, visual effects artist, and of course Ken Thompson also helped out, and Michaela Moore, costumer. who actually we won some accolades from festivals for our costumes. Lori Volks Jackson. Eric Patton was our creative consultant, uncredited, but has an IMDb credit. And our production assistants, Jonathan Giacomis, Xavier Jackson Rice, Anderson Perez, Brandon Perez. Our production coordinator was John Van Gastein. Prop master, prop maker, Kelvin Knaff, who is mediocre modeler, Kyle Blokovich, and so on, with our special thanks, which are all listed on IMDb. Thank you, all of you, for making this project what it is. But we finally got Chris Marshall to come on, and we haven't had Chris come on to discuss his role. Chuck, you worked with him heavily to make the CG happen. And so since he's with us, I'm happy to be able to have a little bit of his input, if you don't mind, on what it was to do CG. So Tipsy, if you could bring on Chris Marshall, he made it. Let's see if we can actually have some. There he is. Chris, welcome finally to Interfleet Broadcasting. How are you? Yes, we can.
Hey, where's my Eastern Alliance logo?
Not at this time, sir.
Did you? This is a Stranded
Paul was
Warrior.
repping you, though.
A Stranded Warrior, homage day. So no Eastern Alliance. That would have been something. We didn't think of using Eastern Alliance, but it was a prequel. So anyway, Chris, what your take on the Stranded Warrior? Your insights, thoughts.
It was a real challenge. It really was. I never claimed to be a pro. I always claimed to be an amateur designer, just for love of the game. Anything I do in this genre is because I love it and I love doing it. I work in film, so we learned a lot of things from a production standpoint and from the special effects standpoint, and took some of those lessons and we rolled into the Stranded Warrior. That being said, there were lots of lessons learned with that one as well. And production went along, I saw everybody in the process get better at what we were doing. And it was fun to watch. It really was. And it's really interesting because by the time the film was out, Chuck was better at what he did. I was better at what I did. And we were looking for more projects to do with other folks and trying to get rolling with something else because we were just on a high, so to speak.
So guys, it's obvious from what you're saying, Chris, that you taught yourselves techniques. Chuck, I know that you're not a professional in this world, in this arena, but you guys kind of did pick up some skills, yes or no?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, this is just a case of practice. I am self-taught, and that's probably why there's a whole ton of stuff that I don't know yet. But I read manuals and watch tutorials, and you just try a lot of stuff, and you try it over and over and over again, and you just keep dumping out the stuff that's bad, and then you go like, oh, this little bit turned out pretty good. I'm going to keep using that. And you can kind of build up a system that produces, the work that's as good as you know how to do. There's always more to learn, though. And I forgot to mention that Chris Marshall also is a model maker, and he made a whole bunch of great models that are in some of the scenes, or I would like to see him in more scenes. But the Exodus scene is all his models, just a whole ton of them.
So, guys, favorite scenes. I know, Chuck, you have a couple of them that we've talked about in the past that didn't make it into the final cut. But is there one that you kind of have an affinity towards?
Oh yeah, I mean, I as an assistant editor, I saw all the takes of all the things, and there's just tons of really great stuff that no one's going to see unless we come up with some way to put it out there. And but
Hint,
by
hint,
far,
Pete,
what I
hint,
liked
hint.
what I love the most is just the scene between Martin and Costas in his room there. It's a conversation at two levels. They know each other too well to be fooled by their words, and it's the heart of the film is their comradeship in this impossibly difficult situation that they find themselves in. And I just love the acting on it. It gave me chills the first time I saw it, and it still does.
Cool. Chris, did you have a similar scene that you thought was, stood out?
I really think, well, I believe that the scene that Chuck did with the Viper exiting the launch tube, I think that scene is iconic, and I think it was a real gift to all the original series fans. The first time he showed it to me, my jaw was on the floor. I was like, "How did you do that? That's just a wizard." And I think we're going to see that clip of that Viper leaving the launch tube a whole lot, because I think a whole lot of people are going to or see that and say, "Wow, I want to grab that picture," or "I want to just download it or something off the internet." I think we're going to see that clip a lot in the next 20 years. I really do, because it's iconic. It always stood out. I'm not an actor, so I can't be a critic of all the acting. It was a good story. The writing was good. The music was awesome. Kind of brings me a tear when I think about it. Brings a tear to my eye when I think about it. The music was awesome. I was so impressed with that. But when it comes to one scene, I would say that Viper being launched out of the tube, that was amazing.
That it was. And speaking of, the other thing I didn't bring up was at one point we toyed with the idea that Martin was gonna try to figure out what is actually going on, that he was going to hunt down those behind a strange set of circumstances that he was going to be picking up. And we tried to shoot a couple of scenes where he questions the new Major Aim and Diana Durango, her character, and we didn't get to see that, unfortunately. But so it was almost like, wait a minute, is Martin gonna be that guy? And he's supposed to be, because he's the only one that gets away, right? That was the point. Like, he escapes, his launch tube's open, he gets down there to the launch bay, and he's the only one out of all the Viper pilots and all the everybody that's there, right? The wings that are there, he's the only one that survives because something about him, something's going on. And I just thought, geez, that would be something. And then it was like, yeah, it's just we don't have the wherewithal to make it happen correctly. So we pulled back. And then the whole thing with the Cylons, we discussed that back and forth. It was like, well, we got to try to make it a rocket, and it'll take off in space, and then the Cylon will get it, but then he's got to open it. And it was like, wait a minute, oh my God, let's just not even do it. We explored that, and we said no. But that was something that we went back and forth, and you guys worked on, models, and I sent you a couple of pictures that I thought maybe could work. And could this be, the rocket that is jettisoned with the body? And then we were like, forget it. Too much. It won't work. So
we had to cut it, so because we
yeah,
had time.
Yeah, we did. It was just how much more, like Chuck, I think you mentioned this, and Chris, this. You could probably we could be working on it right now. We could have decided to not put it out.
Still be tinkering it.
And still edit and still work on it and still add something and make it something else and do whatever. And I was a big proponent to make it what you guys see. And I think it was what we wanted. We got what we wanted. I think it was a showcase of all of our talent. And I don't regret anything that transpired in terms of the edits or where it went. I know you guys worked on some other things that didn't make it in. There's some really good scenes with Lieutenant Kosta that we ultimately couldn't fit in. And I know, Chuck,
I
you
surely
really,
wish you had those.
yeah,
You know,
Yeah,
and also
we were designing Cylon ships way before the cameras even started rolling.
Yep, that's right. That's right. And
yeah,
luckily we used
we
those
had
in the
all of
opening,
that.
right?
Yes, you did.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
So
think for me the I get chills every time it goes from the gun to Karina to the marriage, but the chills hit as soon as she crashes.
yeah, the crashing is cool.
That
I've watched people's reaction, and you guys built that out. So I've watched people watching it for the first time, and people are like, "Whoa!" Like they're like, it's it has that effect on just about anybody that's watching it, including the actress Krissa. She when she sees it, she's moved by it as well. So well done, guys.
It was great because as he remembers that, that's when his hand goes through the laser. He decided he can't take it anymore. It was just married up perfectly, I thought.
Yeah,
I thought so too.
Chilling that and just the exiting the launch. The other one is the exiting the launch tube and getting hit by a Cylon. That's.
I do want to mention when we designed the airlock.
Oh, that was cool.
Yeah. One of the fun things about designing and putting that on the screen was that we actually figured out where on the Battlestar the airlock had to be in order to get the angle that they used in Fire in Space. And we were like virtually high-fiving each other when we figured that one out. And yeah, I was really happy with that as well.
No, that's a good
one. Making it.
I'm glad you mentioned that.
That spot doesn't actually fit on the model. There isn't actually such a spot, but we invented one. So we made that airlock exist on the model of the Helios.
That's right. That's good. Thank you for bringing that up. I had almost forgotten that. But gentlemen, thank you very, very much for all of the passion and the time and the effort that you put into this. I believe we showcased talents that are well deserved. We gave back to the fans because this was a passion project ultimately, and we did well. We did very, very well. Sharing the Battlestar with all these people around the world that they don't know what Battlestar Galactica is, and now they kind of do. And hopefully some of them actually go watch the original or any of the franchise, but that was part of this. And the cherry on top is the fact that we received recognitions, that we threw it out there, right? I threw it out specifically to that's right. Chris, you designed the official poster, and the poster received honorable mention in 2 separate international film festivals and a win for best movie poster. And that was your doing, right? I had an idea, you took the idea and you made it happen. And so, part of those awards that we won, 3 of them are for the poster, right? We threw it out and it wasn't haphazard, right? I kind of tried to make sure that we weren't going to waste anybody's time or money, because it takes money to actually send any project to film festivals. So I cherry picked them, and we did very, very well, and it's well deserved.
And Pete has an award-winning backside now.
Yeah, I was going to say, tell everybody who's on the poster.
Yeah, we went through
Pete's
action
butt
figures.
is on the poster.
We went through the 12-inch figures, and it was like, all right, you know what? Forget it. We gotta. So I dressed up for it and took a whole bunch of pictures that you were able to use, because it was like, how the hell are we gonna do this? I just thought we would make it work with the action figures, and it didn't. It did not work. There was no way. So yes, so I had to dress up. But thank you very much, guys. And as we'd mentioned a while ago now, as we come to a close, that the Stranded Warrior will be released next week on YouTube. It'll live on the IFB Interfleet Broadcasting's site on YouTube. It'll be there for everybody to go back and watch as many times as you like to enjoy. So please do. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Chris, any last words? Chuck, Tipsy, any parting words of pearls of wisdom?
Yeah, that was fun, and I would encourage anyone out there that has a passion for this genre, whether it be writing, filming, acting, special effects, I don't know, critique to help us get better. The door's wide open for you to come in and be creative. And it was inspiring to watch. Although I wasn't able to be present during the filming, it was still impressive to watch everybody come from across the country to one spot to get it done just for a fan film. They set a real good example of us, exploring this creativity in this genre and honoring it, frankly. So it was fun. It was real fun.
I would just like to see some of these wonderful scenes and footage get out there somehow. Somehow make an expanded version, the director's cut, whatever kind of a thing, and or maybe even just some making of or something. People worked hard and they created some very terrific shots that only us editors have seen, and I'm just dying for the rest of you to see them too.
Fair enough. I think that's cool. Making of. I think a making of would be very cool. Tipsy?
I think it's a testament to the fandom, a testament to a group of people who are willing to do what they have to, either financially or with their time, create something that's so exciting and lets people think about their favorite show once again, their favorite ideas once again, and ask that one thing that all fans ask after their show is canceled or after whatever else. What if? And that's, what if this happened? What if, and that's the driving force, I think, behind a fandom. When your show is canceled, or when nobody's picking you up, and when you feel that you have been abandoned by everybody in regards to, the people who make the show, the people who wrote the show, and even, we've got the actors and the actresses out there, but nobody's pushing for your favorite show to come back. And you get the chance to create a story, to create a CG project. There's lots of those out there. They're fantastic. You create these things for other fans to inspire them. I coined the word fanspiration. You get out there and you inspire these people, and it lives on forever. I mean, right now we're going to put something on YouTube, and it's going to be there forever. Something that you've created is going to be on there forever. And I think that more people, get involved with your fandom, whether it be Rollerball or V or whatever it may be. You need to, wave that fan flag and do something. Even if it's just talking amongst yourselves on a Facebook post or Facebook page or whatever it is, get out there, do something, because seriously, the fans do fuel the fleet of the fandom. And if you're, if you can help, if you can inspire, then do it. And I think Chris, Chuck, all of the people involved in this project, Pete, everybody that was involved in this project, put forth that fandom and created something that will live on and inspire others to hopefully create something else. Or even if they don't create something, at least you created some thoughts in their head. So anyways, I've talked too much. It is a fantastic time. I'm so glad we've pushed the little birdie, Cylon birdie, out of the nest and let it fly now. And hopefully you enjoy it as much as we enjoyed it, and it means more to you or to us or to whoever. It means something to you in regards to this. Battlestar Galactica lives on, and it's because of the fans. So here's to you, Chuck, Chris, all of the people involved. I'm proud to be part of this. The fans do feel the fleet, and thank you very much.
Cheers.
Thanks for the opportunity.
You're very welcome. Take care, everybody. See you next week.